was 8 years old, I gave my heart to Jesus. Well, that meant my citizenship changed to heaven. And I've been growing towards that all my life. For about the last 55 years, I've been growing towards that perfection in heaven. And so I'm finally going to get to go home. The thing that I'm looking forward to is that I get all those glimpses I've had of heaven all these years are not going to just be glimpses anymore, and that we have, a new world, a new heaven, new earth. Means everything's going to be changed. And when you start talking about the excitement of heaven, about what's there, then the reason that you want people to come to know Jesus is so they'll be there to experience it, not just not be somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hoping to encourage our congregation to realize that the good news is really good news, not bad news. And bad news is you're going to go to hell if you don't come to know Christ. The good news is you're going to go to heaven, and there's something to look forward to. And I think that encourages people who are ill. It encourages, like yesterday I was visiting with a man dying of cancer, and we visited for a couple hours, actually until I ran out of oxygen. Had to leave. But and we had visited for some time, and we talked about it, and I was sharing with him and his wife that what Sandy and I have discovered is that being terminally ill, what a blessing this is, because it gives opportunity to have conversations with your kids, with your wife, your spouse, with people, to be able to have closure. I sang for several years, nearly 20 years with Singing Men of West Texas, and so I was able to say thank you to those men that many I've sung with in all those years, and have closure in a context like that. And to me, that's far more blessing than just dropping dead with a heart attack. Now, a lot of people say, I don't want to suffer. Well, you can be healthy and suffer. So I don't know that suffering is going to be resolved. But anyway, so we were sharing and talking, and he was sharing with me, and I shared what I was saying about to his wife. I said, this is a wonderful opportunity. This is not a curse. This is not why are you dying. It's God's giving you a blessing. Take advantage of it. And so as we talked about that, we talked about heaven, things like that. And when we left, the man that was visiting with me, one of our men in the church, he said, I visited with that fella several times, but he said, I've never seen him talk like that. And I thought that was just normal. It's the first time I visited with him. And I think it's, we were going through the same experience. So we had common language and common understanding. Now, I wouldn't recommend that a preacher become terminal so he can deal with people like that, but I'm just saying that uniquely you're able to not just say, this is what you ought to do, not just I sympathize with you. I know exactly how you feel. I know what you're struggling with, and the same things we struggle with. One day you wish you were over with, and next moment you think, I can make this for a while longer. So it's a push and shove every day. So I think for our congregation, when I was speaking to them the other day, we were talking about, I said, I guess I didn't take into consideration how it would affect you guys to see your pastor getting weaker and weaker. I was first there, I was on a walker, then I went to a wheelchair, now I'm on a power chair, and eventually with the VA hopefully gets my lift on the back of the pickup, give me still some more freedom to go places without having to have my son and daughter, my son and my wife there. Then I said I didn't realize that how it might impact you to see somebody in front of you dying. A lot of people don't like to talk about dying. They don't even want to discuss it. They don't want to talk about funeral arrangements. And I guess I said I just don't think I fully realized that maybe your feelings, they take those in consideration, and maybe they didn't realize it either, because it is unique. You know, you don't always know how people react. And one of the ladies in the church said, it was a Wednesday night service, and she said, well, we're all going to get there, and maybe your being here helps us to prepare us for that time when we get there.